Hi there, it's Alex from Raw Selection. So I wanted to talk to you today about the 5 biggest mistakes when recruiting executives into the VC and PE world that cost you a lot of money and a lot of time. So the first, number one, is being proactive. So not being proactive with your search. A lot of firms I speak to, VC and PE, they'll put together a great job specification for their operating partner, partner position, vice president, principal, C-suite within their portfolio. They'll pass it to the HR, the talent professional, and they'll post it out. And that, bit of networking, a few calls, maybe not even that. It's just not going to get the right talent. So being proactive with what you're doing, so looking at the different avenues of being able to find and identify these people, reaching out to potential contacts. It's going to spend a lot of time doing this, but it's going to save you a lot of time, getting the wrong person or just getting an average person into the business, which is hugely detrimental. So definitely being able to identify what you need to do in order to find the right people and being proactive with that process as well. So number 2 is hire based on potential. I talk to a lot of firms who are looking for, particularly within the portfolio businesses, they'll need somebody that is a particular type of level or experience. They have a business at the moment that's say $20 million US, $150 million US, and they'll go out to market and they'll hire a guy that's run a business, or a girl that's run a business at $50 million US, and the business is $50 million US. Well, you want to grow that business. You're a PE, VC business. Your aim is to, increase the revenue, increase the profitability, most likely, and then look to get a multiple on exit. Go after somebody that is higher up, that has more potential than what the business is, and they can take that business to that next level because they've got that experience of running businesses there. Not to say the guy or girl that you take on at the 50 million isn't relevant, but trying to attract people that have got different experiences, have got higher level. Maybe if it's a 50 million USD revenue business that you're looking at and you want to grow that to 100 million, that you're trying to attract people at the 80 to 100 million USD kind of revenue space that have got experience of that, bring them into the business and give them a real incentive plan to grow it. If you find the right person, they can accelerate that growth. It might be that they're not interested. It could be, any facet. The guy or the girl at 50 million is more relevant. It doesn't matter. It's considering different avenues and hiring based on potential to give yourselves the best possible outcome of profile. Number 3 is urgency. We see it, we hear it on LinkedIn all the time. Recruiters moan about it all the time, but that doesn't mean that it's always right. But for this particular one, urgency is absolutely key. The amount of firms that get through towards the end of a process, have interviewed a candidate, find the ideal profile, and then takes weeks and weeks and weeks to get an offer out, months to get an offer out. I've even seen a candidate take a year to get an offer, and lo and behold, he declined it. But it's being able to work with pace, knowing what when you've gone to market, you can offer fast, when the right person comes on, that you can secure them. That doesn't mean hiring the wrong person. Get the best possible talent, but hiring with urgency. When you identify that person, bring them into the business, get them hired, and get a plan together to keep going. So number 4 is cutting cost. So the amount of firms that we've spoken to that have had bad experiences with, search firms, recruitment firms, whatever you want to call them, usually comes down, to the amount of cutting costs they've used. They've used a non-specialist firm. They've used a generalist firm just to hire a CEO. Work with the best possible firm. Obviously, we specialize in VC and PE appointments. Doesn't mean it has to be us. If you haven't got a relationship with us, you don't know who we are, reach out, speak to us. But if you've got that relationship with a specialist firm that have been doing it all right, but the generalist firm just pokes an email under your nose that does anything, don't compromise getting the best person for your business. The multiple at the end, you will thank yourself if it's 1, 2, 3 times larger because of the right person you brought in, rather than cutting costs at this stage. Do not go for the cheapest product. Do not go for the cheapest car. You don't drive around in a really, really battered up Chevrolet, really, really battered up Ford Mustang. You drive around in a good Ford Mustang, a Chevrolet, whatever it is, because it's reliable and you pay the right money for it. So don't cut costs at this stage. use a proper firm, use an executive search firm that's got experience in the market, that knows what you're talking about, and ask them the right questions about it. And if they fob you off and they don't answer, move on, find somebody else, Google it. There's tons of search firms on Google. As I said, www.rawselection.co.uk. Go through there, you'll see all of our track record, all of our background, and our specialist work with private equity and venture capital firms, and obviously working a lot within their portfolios. So the next one is having a plan of success. The amount of firms that we work with that we worked in the past that we try and educate on this, they're looking for a particular profile. They're so focused on getting that right CEO, getting the right partner, operating partner into the business. They hire this person, they go through the process, and it hasn't really been communicated what success looks like. They kind of start on day one and lead them to it, especially within the portfolios. Have a plan where you want to get to. By all means, formulate that plan with your executive profile when you bring them in, but don't just go in blind and expect them to, right, we want to get to 100 million revenue. We're at 50 million right now. I'll see in 5 years when we want to exit. Try and put in place metrics. We're going to measure you on this, we're going to measure you on that. The basic ones are obviously going to be revenue and profit, but give them some level of guidance of how you feel that they will be able to get there, and do that at the interview level. Talk with them about it, so their expectations are aligned with yours. And if the success happens, it happens because everybody's in the same picture. Everyone knows how they're going to get there, and you'll have achieved that and get that through. So that's our 5. So I hope this helps, guys, with regards to your recruiting and your talent processes. As I said, we specialise in recruitment within private equity, venture capital, and their portfolio businesses. So we mainly work on the investment side within the PE and the VC, and the investment profiles, and obviously working within the C-suite on the portfolio businesses. If you need anything, www.rawselection.co.uk, or you can get me on alex.r, that's the letter, at rawselection.co.uk. Thanks a lot for your time.